Hey, what's up? I'm Darkbblue, trying to help everyone enjoy games in depth. This video will give you information about the best builds in AI Element. I'll cover the usage of all the 5 stats and give you recommended stat investment strategy as well as recommended weapon choices. Additionally, we'll also go through how to get the respec item in AI Element. There are 5 stats in total. The first 2, Life and Vitality, are important for any build you may want to play. Life increases your max HP, and Vitality makes you generate energy faster, so all builds need to invest into the 2 stats. The other 3 stats, Strength, Technique, and Spirit, are offensive stats. They only work with the scaling stat of your weapons. Usually, you will want to focus solely on one of the 3 stats. You can find 2 or 3 letters on the weapon stats sheet corresponding to Strength, Technique, and Spirit. These are the scaling factors we are talking about. S indicates the highest scaling factor, all the way down to E, which is the lowest. While Strength and Technique are mainly used for the scaling of weapon attack, Spirit is mainly for the purpose of spells. In general, it's quite simple as there are only 5 stats in total. Remember, all builds need to invest into Life and Vitality, but you will want to choose one from Strength, Technique, and Spirit as your main offensive stat. With all the 5 stats being clarified, now on to leveling strategy. Know that the reward you gain with each point into a certain stat is usually non-linear in Souls games. The more points you have in one stat, the less rewarding it'll be. This is usually called soft cap. Based on my experience, I recommend 30 life for New Game Plus 0 and 40 life for New Game Plus 1. 40 is the soft cap threshold, but 30 is enough for New Game Plus 0, so we don't need to go for 30 life in your first playthrough. Then for Vitality, you want to reach 30 to 35 in New Game Plus 0. 35 is the soft cap threshold. If you aim for New Game Plus rounds, however, you can put more points into Vitality as it's really important. Then on to the 3 offensive stats. Let's first talk about which one to pick from the 3. My recommendation is either Strength or Technique. On one hand, there are very few weapons that can scale with Spirit, so if you major in Spirit, your melee attacks will be squishy, forcing you to rely heavily on spells, which is a less straightforward way to fight. On the other hand, although certain enemies can be easily tackled with spells, you can in fact respec for infinite times and for free in this game, so you can change to a Spirit build only when you meet such enemies. Now that we are clear what stats to major in, what about the numbers? The soft cap threshold is 50, and it's really rewarding before you reach this threshold, so I would recommend directly going for 50 Strength or Technique in New Game Plus 0. After this point, invest into the other stat of Strength and Technique, which can be much more rewarding than going beyond the soft cap threshold. Let's say you have 50 Strength already, maybe consider going for 20 Technique in New Game Plus 0. In New Game Plus, maybe go for 30 Technique or Strength, then 30 Spirit. If you have enough currency, try to even get 50 in all 3 offensive stats. Next, on to weapon recommendation. I'm not recommending any specific weapon, but a method to find good weapons. As said in my previous combat deep dive video, the fundamental combat logic of this game is a rotation between an interactive generator phase and a stun logging spinner phase. However, certain light weapons cannot guarantee you safety as their staggerability is too weak. So I recommend looking for weapons with strong staggerability. Then how may you know the staggerability of a given weapon? You can exploit this necromob found in the region out of the city near a checkpoint. Such necromobs cannot be staggered by basic attacks, so it's a suitable target to test out your weapon skills. Personally, I divide the staggerability of weapon skills into 3 ranks. The weakest ones cannot stagger the necromob, such as bladed dual swords. I don't recommend these weapons. medium ones. The staggerability is weak amid the combo, but the finisher hit can stagger the necromob. These weapons are acceptable. The strongest ones can stagger the necromob even amid the combo. These weapons are highly recommended. In general, you can find strong weapons by yourself using the necromob, which shouldn't be too hard to conduct. In the end, let's go through how to unlock Respec in AI limit. To start with, you'll need to go to High Street in Sunken City Overground. Go upstairs and turn left. This is the way to our destiny. Keep going until you reach a subway station, which takes you to Withered Forest. There's a lot of content in Wither's Forest, but they are not necessary to get Respec. Just follow the clip and go to the greenhouse. At the second floor of the greenhouse, you can get the item that unlocks Respec for you. You can Respec at any checkpoint for free, infinitely. And when you go to New Game Plus, you don't need to acquire this item again, which is very nice. So that's all about today's video, hope it's helpful for you. If you want to play games into depth together with me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.